What's up?
Yo, dog.
Here we are, week 3, 26.3, and Corey Hart joins us in the spare bedroom of glory today.
Are you ready to rock?
I don't know what we're going for here. We are going to rock the reps.
Rock the reps.
For week 3. Interpret that however you want, I guess.
Punk rock.
Punk rock, alt rock.
Dude who wears sunglasses inside.
Yeah.
Anything you want.
Pop rock, maybe,
sure,
whatever that is. I don't know. Yeah, you have more of like a skater boy thing going on right now.
Well, maybe me and Avril will hang out.
Yeah,
I'm wearing a Metallica shirt.
Yeah, busted out the band shirt. So interpret our rock the reps party in whatever way you want.
Yeah.
So we just saw the live announcement. We just watched the 3 girls throw down in Miami. First thoughts? What do you think?
I can't imagine doing this workout in that heat, that sun. Those poor bastards.
They're like direct sunlight, no shade on the black tarmac. They just had like a little lifting platform. I was like, that looks uncomfortable.
Yeah. I feel like they're all going to redo it, and I think they'll finish if they redo it. But when he first announced it, we always play the guessing game. Like, what's it going to be? What's the time gap? Whatever. And I originally guessed 18. I was thinking 18 minutes. It was 16, and none of them finished.
Yeah.
They were all very close. None of them finished. So that's always a good indicator for the masses. How far into this thing are we going to get?
Yes. Tempers my expectations. Where at first I was like, oh, I could probably finish that. And then you watch friggin' Olivia Kerstetter, one of the fittest women on earth, not finished. You're like, oh, never mind then. Like, I don't need to worry about getting that far.
I think for the true authentic version, maybe we'll crank the furnace and knock the roof off so we have some direct sun. And
yeah, I'm going to need like a heat lamp.
Get the Wadapalooza version going.
Get those Miami feelings up here in Saskatchewan in March.
Carly will be the only one that's prepared for it. She just got back from Thailand. So
35 degrees every day. Yeah. Working out in the heat. Yeah, like we saw those 3 ladies slow down on the burpees. You could see the fatigue, maybe the heat setting in.
Yeah.
So yeah, first observations, I was like, ooh, you got to know your fitness. You got to know your capacity here.
Yeah.
I think that first barbell, the 2 rounds with the lightest barbell, is a trap.
It is a trap. It's okay. I'm just going to say it. I predicted a lot of this. I was saying to the other day, I think I was talking to Michelle or somebody, and she's like, what do you think? And I was like, I know it's going to be a barbell. I'm like, I feel like it's going to be thrusters, but I'm like, I could see it be a progressively increasing weight thruster. Nailed it. I was thinking burpees, and then I was thinking either some sort of skip, double unders, or maybe even crossovers as a new movement. And then if not that, maybe rowing. So it ended up being 3 movements, but it's the clean instead of the thruster, which makes the thrusters worse. I think the grip of the clean paired with the holding onto the bar for the thruster is going to be tough. So yeah, this is the type of workout where it could just be those first 2 rounds, and that would be a sufficient sprint workout. This is not a sprint workout. For most people, if you come out too hot, it's going to blow you up, and you're going to be doing singles, and you're going to be doing slow burpees, and you're barely going to make it very far into that second round. So real quick review of what the actual workout is. 2 rounds. You're going to start with the burpees, 12 burpees, 12 power cleans, 12 burpees, 12 thrusters. Do that twice at 95, 65. Then you do the same thing at 115, 75, and then the same thing at 135, 85. So the girls get a bit of an advantage with the normal weights. Guys, it's pretty standard weights that we use. But yeah, the first 2 rounds is a trap. If you go too fast, you're done.
Yeah. So so lateral burpees over the bar are the fastest type of burpees because there's no full extension required. You can just like bring your feet in and zip right over, and you saw them on the live stream staying in their little hunched over position, just zipping over the bar nice and quick, which can also be a trap because you can go really fast. If you stay hunched over and you trap your lungs, you can get yourself really out of breath really quickly. And depending on how you move the rest of the time, you can get your back into a world of hurt by staying in this flopped over position. So you got to know yourself with what positions can you hold.
It's weirding me out in the shade.
Okay, good. It was weird.
Dark in here.
This room is actually very dark with the lighting, but it's actually quite dark.
Can't sleep. I did the 6 a.m. this morning. I might fall asleep if I keep those glasses on, just nod off.
Where's Dad? Is this sleep? Put some eyes on your glasses, make it look like you're awake, like the 80s. We were just in the kitchen having the hop your feet in or step your feet in debate. We have very different opinions on this.
Yeah. So we're very different athletes, first of all. So let's start with that. You're good at squatting. I suck at squatting. I have long limbs. You don't have limbs. It's very different. Yeah, you're like T-Rex. Very different in our approach to the bar facing or any kind of burpee. For me on this workout, I'm going to be a step in, step out kind of guy. I think even though it's a little bit slower, I think it's less fatiguing. I think being able to go step, step, jump just clicks and it allows me to use a pace that's a little bit more manageable and is not going to cause me to like blow up on the other movements. Whereas you're the opposite. You're more of a jump in for days type of person.
Yeah. And I think, okay, so we were saying don't go too fast in the first section of the workout. But I was like, that doesn't mean do the reps slower. Like I can't imagine anything worse than doing a slow set of thrusters.
Yeah.
Because you're just time under tension with that barbell on your body for way too long. Like I think you're way better off doing a quick set of like 6, take a break, quick set of 6. Don't do a slow set of 12.
Yeah.
Too much time under tension. And then for the burpees, to me, and this is obviously just my opinion, we share opposite opinions on this, of like, if I basically get to the plank and then do a lunge and step in, that's so much more time under tension cumulatively in that plank on my shoulders that are the most likely to fatigue in this whole thing with the thrusters and stuff. And then it's doing an extra lunge that was totally unnecessary. So then it's more tiring on the legs and then probably stepping in on the same leg all the time. So that one leg becomes off balance with the other one. Whereas like I can just hop my feet in. And it's like I'm off tension. My feet are under my center of mass in 0.5 seconds and I'm over the bar versus the do a push-up, hold a plank, do an extra lunge, step it in. It's just taking longer and it's taking longer under tension. So.
Yeah, I sort of compared it to doing step-ups versus box jumps. So if we were to say, okay, one person's going to do 100 step-ups, one person's going to do 100 box jumps. The person doing box jumps is moving faster, but it's so much more fatiguing. So I feel like I could do 100 step-ups faster, even though each individual rep is slower, just because of the lack of fatigue. But again, I have long legs, and so for me to do a step-up, it's not that big of a deal. You have pretty short legs, so your step-up, it's so much more work and so much more height that you think you could probably get the box jumps done first. We're never going to try it, but...
Like for 100, I would try it. I'm not going to do like a box jump Chad. I'm not going to do 1,000 box jumps, but like 100 or 200 reps, because my prediction is I think I could do box jumps faster.
Yeah.
I have fast hips, extension and flexion, and I would just rather take advantage of that than like a big step up and like a whole rep. It just feels like too much work.
Like your strengths lie in like toes to bar, Olympic weightlifting, dynamic, fast hip movements. A lot of people struggle with the hip movement stuff. So for me, I prefer the step up or the step out, step in burpee. I can get into a good rhythm. I do agree that like I always tend to step back on that first leg, that one leg. And so that one side does tend to get lit up more than the other. So if you are going to be doing some stepping, I would try to alternate legs if you can, but chances are you won't be able to because it throws your brain off and it just doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
But the big thing is just try to find a pace that allows you to keep moving smooth and steady, where you never get to the point where you're just gasping for breath and you're having to take big, long breaks. So whatever that means, stepping in, jumping in, just smooth and steady. Try to stay low, but not to the point where you can't breathe.
And I think the takeaway from what we're talking about here is you got to know yourself.
For sure.
You got to know which type of athlete you are, what paces can you sustain, what's too fast, what's too hard, what's too trapped in your breathing, like know your positions, all those kinds of things. That pacing wise, big takeaways, you just got to know yourself.
Yeah.
Don't come out too hot. It's going to be tempting.
It'll be tempting for sure. You get excited and you'll be wearing sunglasses and you'll be like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And
we'll be playing some kind of like Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
The standard for the jump is as long as one foot and the other foot are in the air at the same time, you can go one then the other on the landing. That's fine. You can do the little horsey hop. You can't step over. If you have both feet on the ground on opposite sides of the bar, that's no rep unless you're doing the scaled version. You saw them. It's like it's arguable, like very close to a step over the way they're doing it. I would definitely not do a 2-footed jump over the bar. It's so much more fatiguing. Again, one foot then the other, but make sure you are getting both feet in the air at the same time.
A little hobby horse, giddy up, hippity hop over the bar. But yeah, don't try to ride the line and make your judge have to make a call. Just it's obvious when one foot is always on the ground and when you were airborne for like a moment. There has to be both feet off the ground.
The other thing I'll say just about efficiency on the burpees is make sure when you kick your feet in, it's full foot flat on the ground. You're not all up in your toes, and don't have your feet narrow, because then you'll end up with your hips down. You're basically doing an extra squat on every burpee, and that'll wreck you for the burpees. So, or for the thrusters, I mean. So do fairly wide feet, not ridiculously wide where you now can't get over the bar. Excuse me. But try to keep your feet fairly neutral.
Shoulder width. Like you should just be bringing your feet under your center of mass, not outside your center of mass, not outside.
Yeah. But full foot on the ground.
I've been really hammering flat hands, flat feet burpee positions lately, like a lot in warm-ups and a lot in the workouts about trying to get people into that better burpee position. So yeah, you're not toesy and in a full squat and off balance and fucking your knees and your quads and everything. Like a burpee doesn't have to be as hard as some people make it.
Now, as far as choosing the weights for scaled and RX, we've been doing a lot of prep work for thrusters because like every year the thrusters are going to come up in the open. And even on Tuesday, we did thrusters and burpees as prep for today.
Yeah.
Because I was guessing that it was probably going to happen. So I feel like unless you can't physically do a 65 or 95 pound thruster, just do it and see how far you can get. It might be that it takes you half the time to get through the first round and then you barely get into the second round, but that's fine. If you go with those lighter weights, you are going to get much further, and that's going to be much more uncomfortable for sure. So choose your own adventure. But I would recommend, if you can safely do it, just tough it out. Even if you're doing singles on the thruster. I mean, whatever. Just see how far you can get.
The girls' weights go 65, 75, 85. Guys' weights go 95, 115, 135. And then scaled 45, 55, 65. 65, 85, 95 for the guys. So like, like you said, if you're choosing scaled, you're choosing to do a lot of reps. And you're like, I love burpees. I want to do tons of them.
I think they said the total amount is like 140 burpees if you finish. It's like 144 or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was doing the math originally and I was like, oh, it's only 72 burpees. But no, it's 2 rounds in each barbell. I was like, oh, it's only 24 in each section. No, it's 48 in each section.
Yeah.
If you make it. And you're like, that's a lot of burpees.
Yeah. So the other 2 movements, the cleans, it's power clean is allowed. You don't have to squat. I think the clean's the trap as well, because that's a light clean for most of us to start. And many people are going to be tempted just to go unbroken and fast. And I think that's a mistake. I think that even though the cleans are light, they're still going to interfere a ton with the other stuff. And if you go too fast on those as well, you're going to dig yourself a hole. So the good thing about the clean is you can drop it and get right back on the bar pretty easily. Whereas the thruster, every time you drop it, you have to do an additional clean to get it back up to the shoulders. Yeah. So just be smart with your sets. For many people, that second and third weight are going to be just one at a time. But in that first round, I probably wouldn't do 12 in a row for most people, unless you're especially good with your conditioning and your barbell cycling. For most people, I'd say like 6 and 6 or 4, 4, 4 or something like that.
Yeah. I do think singles right from the start would be a mistake.
Yeah, I wouldn't do singles on the first bar. That's too slow, but I wouldn't go too aggressive.
Somewhere in the middle. Yep. Not singles. Unbroken might be a trap, but somewhere in the middle is probably the strategy for like the bulk of the average CrossFitter that's doing this thing.
I would say the advanced to elite athletes can do 12 on both the thruster and the barbell to start, or the power clean to start.
Yeah.
But intermediate to beginner, definitely not.
I feel like, because there's nothing else grippy in this workout, I'd be tempted to hold on to the bar at the 65 pounds more than if it was in combo with like a toast bar or something else. Yeah. We'd have to be more conservative on the grip. And then I just know myself, as soon as I put something down, it's going to stay down there for a while and I'm going to be staring at it. So I personally do better with like, just do the set and then give yourself more of a break. I'm a person that can catch my breath doing burpees. So if I know that, like I can do this barbell unbroken and I'll catch up a little bit on the burpees. Yep. Again, you got to know yourself, right? If that barbell is going to get you too out of breath and your burpee technique is not smooth enough for you to catch your breath there, then you have to take more breaks.
Yeah. The standard is standing tall, right? Shoulders stacked up over the hips, hips and knees straight with the elbows ahead of the bar. So you don't need that full front rack position, but the elbows do have to pass the bar. So the no reps will happen when people are cycling because they'll be standing up and popping the bar off the shoulders before you get that full lock out at the top. So just take a half second at the top just to show that you're there so you don't get no reps. Other than that movement's pretty straightforward. Keep your back flat, of course. Yep. You can see the games athletes, they're moving quickly and they're not necessarily moving well. And I don't think there's any advantage to that. No. It's just turn off your brain and go type of thing, I think for us normal humans, we'll be well better served if we take the time to flatten our back at the bottom.
Yeah.
The thrusters. Oh,
I love thrusters. You hate thrusters.
hate
Speaking of us being like the total opposite athletes, thruster burpee is my jam. We're right in my wheelhouse now. Power cleans, meh, but the rest of it, yes.
I'll take power cleans over anything.
Yeah. And now this is the opposite of how I felt about week 1, where we were like, wall balls and box jumps, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yes, no. Us shorties are rejoicing in our thrusters and burpees.
I want to see Colton Mertens do this workout.
Oh, he's going to be so good at it. You got to squat below parallel. And you got to lock out that bar over the midline of your body. So common no reps, we're going to see not squatting below parallel. And it's obvious when somebody does it. If you're in a position of judging and you're like this, like, that's a no. And this is what they always tell us at the games. If you have to hesitate, it's a no rep. Because when it's a good rep, there's no hesitation. It's obvious. And then you got to lock out the bar over the midline of the body. So if you got those tight shoulders, you got to watch out for not punching the bar forward. And no re-dip. So there can't be a baby jerk at the top. So the bar has to be one continuous motion from the bottom of the squat to the lockout. It can't change directions into a little baby jerk.
Yeah.
So especially at the heavier barbells, that's some of the stuff that just starts happening as the body starts trying to solve problems of how are we going to get this thing overhead.
Yeah.
So no re-dipping.
2 efficiency tips that I always talk about. First of all, shoot your hips back to initiate the squat. Mm-hmm. You don't want to transfer into the toes because A, it's way harder, blow up your quads, but B, it's going to cause you to get no reps. Mm-hmm. I saw a few people on Tuesday when we were doing our thrusters, they were just shifting too far forward. And so now instead of their hip being below the knee, they're shifted their knees forward and so now the hip is above the knee. So it's no reps, even though you're moving the same range of motion, just the body proportions are all off. So hips back, weight in the heels. And then the last thing is don't start to squat until that bar has hit the shoulder. If you're lowering into the bottom of the squat and still holding the bar off your shoulders, now your shoulders are under tension the whole time. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be the most fatiguing part. Compared with the burpees, your shoulders are going to be blasted on this one.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so proper execution of the movement is core to extremity movement patterns. Hips first, then hands. Hands come back to the shoulders, and then you flex the hips into the bottom of the squat. If you do what you were just describing, which is you're already starting to squat before the bar's on the shoulders, when the bar gets to your shoulders, it's in the bottom of the squat where it tends to own you forward.
Yeah.
Makes it way harder to stabilize, makes way more demand on the back muscles to keep the bar from falling forward, pulls you onto your toes, makes it more quad dominant. Like it just goes right off the rails for a variety of reasons. So hips, then hands, hands, then hips. I was saying to someone the other day, I was like, here's a secret. I'm not that strong and I'm definitely not very fit. I'm just a really good mover.
Yeah.
And I've figured out, hacked the system, how to productively apply my force, being in the right position so I can squat a lot of weight. And I'm super smooth and efficient on things like burpees and thrusters because I'm just moving with no wasted energy. And then it sort of creates this illusion of having a high degree of work capacity, which I don't think I do.
Yeah.
But if you just stop wasting so much energy and spending so much time under tension doing things and just move the bar in a straight line and stay on your heels and use your strongest muscles, like, man, you save yourself so much wasted energy.
Yeah. You can get away with it on the wall ball to catch it as you're dropping down into the bottom of the squat because it's 20 pounds or 14 pounds. Mm-hmm. This is 5 times that weight. So you're way more likely to catch it weird and get pulled into your toes and just drop the bar and crash. So core to extremity, take your time to move well. As far as like pacing those thrusters, you don't want to go too slow, but you also don't want to go sprinting like too fast because again, you're just going to skyrocket your heart rate. So you want to be able to breathe. Don't hold your breath while you're doing thrusters. Steady breathing. I like to pop it off the shoulders and exhale and then inhale as I bring it back down to the shoulders. And then I hold my breath as I squat. Mm-hmm. Some people can get away with breathing the whole time, but just make sure you're actually breathing. Do something. Take some oxygen into your body.
Yeah. Can't hold your breath for a set of 12.
No.
That's a bad idea. So make sure you've read the standards. I have them here. CrossFit does a wonderful job. We got Allison Scuds in the pictures showing us what's a rep, what's a no rep. I do like to think, you see some shit on the internet right now and you see a lot of affiliates or even worse, not affiliate gyms running the open. Good morning to everyone except those people that just have really shitty standards. And you see affiliates telling on themselves all the time about how poor their coaching is they're posting videos of their athletes moving with poor range of motion.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? It's so embarrassing. And maybe those people are putting up scores that are better than ours, but at least we can sleep at night knowing we have the integrity of like, our people move well.
Yeah.
And if they don't, we will tell them. We are honest and high integrity. So if you get a no rep, it's a thank you. Your job as the athlete is to try to make good, clean reps as much as possible. Don't give your judge anything to have to worry about, question. It just makes more fun, life easier on the athlete and the judge in that respect. We need 16 minutes. So we're going to do heat times on the hour. We'll go 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. This one we can do a few more in each heat than we were able to last week. So we'll just do 3 heats this time.
Yep.
And
tie break time is going to be after the thrusters each time. So make sure you write that down. I think our new to intermediate athletes is kind of like getting into the second round is the goal. How far into that second round you can get. Our sort of advanced athletes, it's how far into that third round you're going to get. Tough workout. Know yourself. Pace it well. Try hard last week. Rock on.
Rock on. See you tomorrow.
Sunglasses going back on. Booyah.